Hi, my stars. It's me, Missy. I'm back, and today I'm going to be playing some more Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, when we last left off, we had just gotten into Val Royeaux. We had that confrontation with the Chantry / the Templars. There's something definitely wrong with the Templars, just gonna say. Uh, we have 2 new companion quests that we need to do, which is gonna be super fun. And we might just unlock another area, but we shall see what happens. Anyway, guys, let's get into the game, shall we? Okay, I don't have any points. I don't have to worry about anything. Let's look at the codex entries really quickly, just because I know I got a ton of shit and I don't know if it's anything actually important. So, yeah, like this. This is important. This is important lore. See? Grand Enchanter Fiona is considered an anomaly among mages. For she is, for instance, the only member of the Circle of Magi ever to leave due to recruitment by the Grey Wardens and then return. Circumstances of that return are largely unknown, but the notoriety she gained within the Circle allowed her to rise rapidly in the ranks. She became first Enchanter of the uh, Maltsimard Tower and then elected Grand Enchanter at the College in Cumberland. The latter was based on her advocacy for greater mage freedom, a view she claimed her time with the Warden supported. Urging for a vote on the matter led to the College of Enchanters' dissolution in 940 Dragon, and then when a vote was attempted secretly to Lord Seeker Lambert of the Seekers of Truth, arresting Fiona and her fellow enchanters. What the hell? Following their flight to the ruin of Andorol's Reach, the escaped mages held and passed a final vote on the Circle of Magi's independence. This began the Mage Rebellion. While Fiona no longer holds the official position of Grand Enchanter, most mages still consider her an integral part of the rebellion's leadership. Interesting. And let's look at the image. And see, this is another important player in this game. Lord Seeker Lucian Corin. For months we were all so certain Lord Seeker Lambert's death was an assassination carried out by mages. He had, after all, declared the Navarra Accord null and void, hurtling us headlong into a war against the rebels. Why else would he be killed? Except as an act of retribution, the entire Templar Order was fired up, ready to take up the fight against the mages. Something we were sure would be over in a matter of weeks. Thus, the election of Lucius Corin to the role made me despair. According to the few seekers of truth with whom I spoke, he was a moderate. He agreed to the Divine's conclave, and every Templar I knew felt certain he would compromise to see the war end. But lately, the man seems different. Does he not? I never met him before he assumed command, but even in this short time his opinions of the war have turned. He did not go to the conclave he personally supported. In fact, he seems to regret supporting it at all. He talks of the Templars establishing themselves as a power in our own right, and our fellows are all too eager to listen. I don't know from where this change of heart came, but I began to wonder if Lambert's death wasn't as simple a matter as we assumed. Something is amiss within our order, and all I know is that it's beyond me to discover what. A letter written by an unknown Templar found in a burned-out forge, 941 Dragon. That's a scary thought. Blood Lotus. Do not try to get out of this. We were told you were the best. That is why we were contracted. Was it not you who obtained the 200 white blooming rose bushes for the Empress's winter ball last year? The Comtesse has been infinitely patient till now, but she doesn't understand why it's so hard to fill the garden pool. She wants no more excuses, and no, she will not compromise with the dawn lotuses. They're white. The flowers have to match the silk canopies. It is crucial. Dark purple, dark red. Do not try to frame this as a safety issue. The guests would be perfectly safe. Why, if they experience hallucinations from the concentration of lotus essence in the air, I'm certain it will only make the evening more thrilling. That's interesting. I don't care if you have to send someone to some Ferelden peat bog to get it all. Just do it. Note from the Chamberlain, Grand Gardener, Umber Vauclin under the decoration for Comtesse d'Arnes's summer garden party. According to gossip in Valrio, the Chamberlain did succeed in convincing Grand Gardener Vauclin to provide 420 lotus plants. The party was considered by most to be a roaring success, even though the evening concluded with at least 12 guests asleep on the lawn, 3 in the pool, and one lady losing several teeth trying to take a bite of a marble statue of the Comtesse's father, which she was convinced was made of cake. There's something wrong with these people. Crystal Grace. The flowers of the Crystal Grace plant are appreciated for their beauty as well as their medical value. Pale blue and shaped like delicate crystal bells, the flowers should almost tinkle in the breeze. In fact, I have heard a tale of an Orlesian lady who ordered Crystal Grace to be planted all over her bower and then hired a mage from the White Spire to enchant them to do just that. Eventually, she grew tired of the chiming and set fire to her lawn in a fit of pique. Let us learn from this. These plants were created exactly as our Maker intended, and our interference rarely improves them. Embryums are flowers from the orchid family. Its therapeutic qualities were actually discovered because the embryum's exceptional beauty. Beloved daughter of Lord Ignace Pollens of Orlais fell victim to a terrible sickness of the lungs which her healers were unable to cure. Thinking the girl would soon perish, her parents surrounded her bed with brightly colored flowers, hoping that they would bring some warmth and cheer in her last days. Oddly enough, the girl began to recover from the illness and grew stronger each day. Her parents were baffled but overjoyed. The healers eventually learned that the fragrance of one of the flowers eased the child's breathing. The flower was an embryum and later became known as the Salubris embryum. The other variants have other certain magical properties, is known as dark embryum. I wonder what it does. Spindleweed is an old country saying that spindleweed grows best in the sorrowful. For the sorrowful. Verdant spindleweed is a household's garden, has often brought the neighbors offering consolation, usually without even asking what might be wrong. This originates from the plant's use as a seasoning for dishes meant to speed the recovery of the infirm. A person who grows much of it is likely caring for the fatally ill. Creatures. This would be interesting. Never seen a proud rider atop a regal mount. That's your failing. Such animals are common enough, but there's cost, so you keep them away from chance of blight, theft, attack, all the nonsense that makes for poor stabling. These aren't working beasts with the fire bred out of their eyes so they can suffer a plow. These creatures are about spirit. A proper mount isn't some noble's plaything on a hunt. It's your everyday, and you'd better match it to deserve it. Horsemaster's notes on mounts. Okay. On horses. You've never had a mount like the Ferelden Forder, not fodder. A hardy warm blood. Don't let the size fool you. They're not meant for the farm. Centuries of careful breeding have taken common stock and produced a glory. A creature as much at home in a charge as they are in a march across nations. But for all the stamina and speed they place at your command, press too far and you'll be picking dirt from your teeth. They know their role and expect that you know yours. Warning and promises and all that. The flames of the Inquisition armored charger. Never in all my days did I think I would have handled such barding. Never imagined the quality of the breed, a true purebred lineage clad in the hallmarks of a master, combination of one of a kind, and this animal knows it. Mount and rider meant for greatness, don't disappoint. The bar has been set very, very high. And the Red Heart. I learned to see one up close without meeting it points first. The pride of the stable, of any stable, even the Dalish I've had occasion to ask, have said it's rare to glimpse them at a distance, few whom have mastered one, and it truly is very few, so there is no animal more sure of foot, more attuned to its rider, more inspirational to simply gaze upon. You want to match the majesty of this creature? Grow some bloody wings. On the bog unicorn. Still not sure what you unearthed talked to a mage about it and got a typical head in the fog response. Got a better answer from that tranquil of yours. It still chilled my short hairs. Plain speak, there's a spirit of some kind in there. Now, a horse to me means freedom, but I understand that sometimes it's a demon, the wrong side of what it should be. What's the wrong side of freedom? Chaos or just unending? Something like that. Whatever is in there, this animal was best of breed, an Arlesian charger fit for any chevalier and well tended in life, but its wounds I'd wager it fell in battle with demons or some ilk, and was finished by its master's mercy. Whatever spirit of loyalty or freedom, or whatever makes horses run, brought the strange thing back. It wants to serve. I've no doubt it will ride well, and I'll stable it, but I'm not going near it. Honestly, my man, I don't blame you at all. Archers. To fight an enemy with a bow or crossbow is simple, although not always easy. Guard with a crossbow must crack his weapon after each shot. If there is one such enemy, seek cover and give him cause to waste his shot, then close upon him before he may fire again. If there are many close to their flank, so you face one guard directly, using him as a second shield, and no other guard has a clean shot at your unprotected back. Do not move to the middle of their ranks and rely upon them hesitating to risk hitting one another. A soldier with a short bow is a little more dangerous. Attack him as you would an enemy with a crossbow, but accept that he will likely fire again. Approaching with shield up, even if you must sacrifice speed. These soldiers are true masters of the bow. Those who do not fumble their draw in fear will fire a shot quickly, so it is more likely to glance off your armor or shield than punch through. Few soldiers have the skill or strength to make good use of a longbow. Respect those who do. Against such an enemy, cover is the only defense. Move quickly across his field of vision, forcing him to compensate for your movements. Do not charge directly unless your allies can distract him. A fully drawn longbow can drive an arrow through a chevalier's plate at 100 yards. Fight between an archer and a chevalier is a test of cunning versus patience. We are too often patient, heavily armored as we are, and faced with lightly armored foes who would harass us. While archers frustrate me as they do most chevaliers, it is good that we fight them, so we remember how to be cunning, how to break an opponent's patience. Interesting. I've got so much stuff. I will not bore you with more stuff right now, but we will look more later. Okay, I am going... Where am I going? What am I doing? Use the world map to travel to the meeting point. Okay, let's go to that. That's the wrong direction. This way.
They wish to protect the people from us?
Okay, this is what we've talked about before.
We knew there would be some kind of reaction.
But I didn't expect the Templars to make an appearance.
The people may just be assuming what the Templars will do. I've heard of no concrete plan.
Return to Haven.
Whatever. Secluded courtyard. A friend of Red Jenny. Location near Valrayo was revealed by the clues left by those friends of Red Jenny. These friends of Red Jenny. Okay, let's travel. And we'll meet Sarah, one of my least favorite companions.
It's the Inquisition!
Not here!
Who I work for, at least.
Okay.
Where are the hounds? Who lost the hounds?
Come here. Okay. Let's keep going then.
Andraste! How much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Just
Hi, Sarah.
say what?
What is that?
Ugh.
Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're well fit. Heard about your kind. Seeing's different. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Some say that. Who are you?
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you? And what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
Bunch of nutters.
What? I feel like I have taken something and I'm having a bad trip.
Why didn't you take weapons?
She's a special sort, Sarah is. Don't be coming up my ass. I'll beat you the fucking real bad. Don't you dare. I'm a bloody canary, bitch.
Drive them out.
Ooh, done.
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
And like a real introduction.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I use them to help you. Plus arrows.
So you're offering spies?
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. If you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
Let's investigate. Who exactly are your people?
So who are your Friends of Red Jenny? You must know them.
Oh, it's not hard to understand if you're not trying to waste your day on it. Someone little always hates someone big. And unless you don't eat, sleep, or piss, you're never far from someone little. Doesn't always work out, but a lot of people hated this guy. Someone got a laugh, someone got even, someone got paid. And someone has to have explained to them that free help is good.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't just trust the random person that randomly showed up out of nowhere, okay? That's how you get yourself killed. Why ask if I glow?
Back there you wanted to know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked out of somewhere, and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
Sounds petty and criminal.
You sound like a thief who acts out petty revenge fantasies. And that might be bad?
Oh, right. You want to prop that guy up so I can say my sorries? Bad things should happen to bad people. We find someone not so bad, maybe he'll end up not so dead. Good enough?
But you didn't know him.
You say that like it's obvious, but you didn't know him.
I knew about him.
That's just rumor.
Look, I'd have been fine stripping his guards and nicking his stuff. Turns out he deserved worse. Or was him trying to kill you a good thing? Are you the baddie? Didn't think so.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yes, join for now.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Achievement unlocked. They who stand recruit a new companion. Okay, we're good. I got a PowerPoint for that too, which is nice. Too many breaches. Reinforced shield was just taken. I can sell shit later. Cassandra's in her own fucking world over there, standing on the edge of a staircase. Did I just see the Paragon Ijukin? Of the House Ijukin, as in my fucking warden. More gold for me. Lovely, lovely. Serpent stone. Button. Whatever. Let's leave. Haven and Hushed Whispers, Valroyo. Imperial Enchanter Vivian Defer, the first enchanter of Montesmard, has extended an invitation to her salon at the chateau of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine. Okay. Let's travel to meet this enchanter. Well, I feel underdressed.
Lady Adar of the Inquisition.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
Let's see. You know of me?
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
Madame de Fer?
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
Tell me about the Duke.
I've heard very little about Duke Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
What have you heard about me?
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
We're restoring peace. I want justice for the divine. We're restoring peace.
The Inquisition is working to restore peace and order to Thedas.
Here comes the outsider, restoring peace with an army. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a woman of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests. You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lady, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
Kill him, let him go. I don't care. Let him go.
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've
Your
so
outfit is
wanted
lovely.
to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first Enchanter of Montsimard and Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
What about the Marquis?
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Pleasure to meet you.
Charmed, Lady Vivienne.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasantries. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
What assistance do you bring?
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
You'll work inside the court.
Does that mean you'd be aiding the Inquisition from the Imperial Palace?
Ordinarily, I would be happy to serve as liaison to the court, but these are not ordinary times. The veil has been ripped apart and there is a hole in the sky. It is now the duty of every mage to work towards sealing the breach. And so I would join the Inquisition on the field of battle.
That's very brave of you. What are loyal mages?
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
Do you support the Circle?
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
What do you get out of this?
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Do you support the Chantry?
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
Welcome aboard.
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivian.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
Oh, I'm all the way back here now. Well, let's do the 2 Haven things that need to be done, so... It's over here somewhere. And then we'll talk to everybody, okay? Oh, look. It's over here. Is that a nug I see? Really is kind of crazy that there's nugs out here in the cold of all places.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Over here. There we are. Turn the nose to done. Okay, so we found that. Let's go do this, set this active, get that done. And get some more elf fruit just in case we're gonna need it. If I could get unstuck from the tree. Iron. That was an interesting noise. What the fuck? Okay. Where's this? More elf fruit. Maybe it's somewhere this way? What was that? Oh, just more elf fruit. Just looked kind of funky. I found the logging stand. Okay, let's go fill the requisition. We should also just talk to people too, so there's that. Over here we go. They did really well making the ice. I'm actually really impressed. Okay, let's talk to Cassandra and Cullen.
Do you need something?
Investigate. Tell me about the Seekers.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
Then who watched you?
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Could that be fixed?
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
What abilities do you have?
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful, considering our role.
Interesting.
Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What are your gifts?
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did the Seekers rebel?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You disagree.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
I agree with you.
You're right. Something should have been done.
When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
How do you become a Seeker?
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
What is the Vigil?
Is the Vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
It does sound wonderful.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
Enough talk for now.
I have no more questions.
Goodbye, Cassandra. Colin, let's have a conversation.
Was there something you needed?
Tell me about Templar life.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
How are Templars trained?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. And I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Tell me about their vows.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages, that sort of thing?
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Okay. What do Templars do?
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages?
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here.
That's
Not
very
that I
kind
want
of you,
mages
Cullen.
moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
Why do Templars become a Templar? Well, why did you become a Templar, more specifically?
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars as our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
That's not very old.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still,
Damn.
I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family?
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
You've lived in the Circle.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's harrowing, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do you not speak to the mages?
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
Exactly. That was all.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Another time, then.
Thank you, Colin.
The reason, Lisette. We cannot stay here.
Why not?
Aggressive bow.
Because we're Templars.
What does that even mean anymore? That we declare our independence and not...
I want to see my bog unicorn, and I want to change some stuff
So if we get better
for...
horses, you think that'll make a difference?
For, bog unicorn, oathbound steed. Oathbound steed and bog unicorn look about the same. A proud charger made strange by fate, whether possessed of a spirit or whatever makes horses run, it yet wants to serve. Well, I'm gonna be the scary canary lady riding a fucking terrifying unicorn.
A good horse can make all the difference. The mare I grew up with saved my life. She died.
Okay, modify armor, modify weapons. Army Dirk. Bow of the Dragon. Okay. Can't remove that, it seems interesting.
Feels silly to mourn a horse. All the people we've let pile.
Well, like you said, a good horse can make all the difference.
Crafting weapons. Bianca arms enhanced. Flanking limbs. Okay. Strong grip. Stunning sight.
Looks fine. You need something? Let me know.
Okay, whatever. Well, that's my new horse. Scary as hell, just like me. Okay, let's go talk to more people. And there's the thing over here.
Reports of Vinter sightings in the hinterlands. And their servants, yes.
I guess there's nothing there. That's a little weird.
What kind of name is Charter, anyway? Doesn't sound elven.
I said you could call me that. Trust in the Maker. Fire is...
Hmm. Paragon, I do can carving. Yeah, that is me. So all... We're fine for now.
Light and go towards flame.
Let's go this way.
Fire and go towards light.
Actually, not this way. This is the wrong way. Up this way. Barrick, I haven't talked to you.
Need something?
I have a personal question. Tell me about Red Lyrium. I have a question about Hawk.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Orsino's fate made no sense.
In the book, you say that first enchanter Orsino turned himself into a giant monster made of corpses. How? Why?
Do I look like an expert on magical weirdness to you? I can't tell you how. For the why, all I can say is he was desperate.
I'm sorry I'm making you hate me. Where are Hawk's friends?
Where are the rest of Hawk's associates now?
Meryl decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly. Sebastian went back to Starkhaven. I'm sure he's boring all sorts of people there. Hawk's brother Carver is still in the Free Marches, helping the Kirkwall Guard keep order. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job. Need something?
Question about Hawk.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
You meet up the Airshok fight.
There's no way Hawk really could have killed the Arashok. It would have started a war with the Kunari.
I was told later that the Kunari disavowed his actions. Apparently the Arashok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march. When they finally sent a ship to haul the Red Dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Qun's version of an apology.
Okay.
Carry on.
Let's go find Solus. Let's go in here, see if the bards might singing anything new.
Researcher Menave wishes to use some inexpensive spirits. She wishes to light creature's corpse on fire to determine whether it is...
Waker, I hope it's not me.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
There's more going on.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
We'll help them all see.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all-touched Lady Herald?
In a way, I want to flirt with her, but I also don't particularly like her, but I've never given her a chance in any other place where I've done. So... I'll flirt with her for now, and we'll see what happens. You staying sounds very good.
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Woof. See you,
Fucking
Harold.
hell.
Harold. Have to do something about that.
I was not expecting to be a female Canary and have everybody wanting to climb me. Fucking hell. Not that I'm opposed. Go find Solus. He's over here, I believe.
Right now, we just need to be careful.
But, I should definitely make a poll on who you guys want to see me romance. Okay?
If you have salves.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajin was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Okay, Lyrium potion recipe. Oh, goodbye.
Farewell.
Upgrade potions, equip potions. You can upgrade potions you have already unlocked. Upgrade a potion, select a category, select the potion, and then select the upgrade. Potion upgrades require a specific amount of herbs to unlock. In return, they give permanent and significant bonuses to your potions. Okay. Grenades, tonics, and potions. Restores health every 2 seconds for 60 seconds. Lyrium potion. Health potion. Sure, let's do the research. Profit laurels, okay. Why change the past when you can only stay? Royal elf fruit. This increases the duration, and this increases the healing. Okay. And this. I don't have enough. Okay, I'll have to come back for that. I have not unlocked any of the tonics, and I have not unlocked any of the grenades yet. Okay. Lyrium potion. Lyrium needs to be for Solus. Here, you can have this. And Vivienne.
Let me know if you need anything.
Always like to say, why change the past when you can always stay? Solus, let's
Closing the
talk.
breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
I agree.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Investigate. Tell me about the Fade.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I would like that, Solus. Tell me about the breach.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
Okay. Tell me about the Veil.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
Sounds strange.
I don't know if I can imagine that.
Try. Imagine if spirits were not a rarity, but a part of our natural world. Like a fast-flowing river. Yes, it can drown careless children, but it can also carry a merchant's goods or grind a miller's flour.
That's a good
That is what the
point.
world could be if the Veil were not present. For better or worse.
Tell me about demons.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Can we change that?
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them, if not in peace, at least without such active confrontation?
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
Thank you, Solus.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's go this way.
What do dwarves do when magic gets out of control?
We call the Templars, just like the rest of you.
Even down in Orzammar?
Friend, I've never even seen Orzammar. But dwarves don't have mages, so...
Craft. Our soldiers require additional weapons if they are to be effective. Reward 1 power. Okay. Inquisition tapestries. Velveteen.
That'll help.
Liliana.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
Game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I can't speak for Andraste.
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
You could blame her killers.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her.
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Let me help you.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
Damn it, Liliana. Let's go inside.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
At least we made contact.
At least we know how to approach the mages and Templars now.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
Hmm. You must choose soon.
Or you could stop bickering and make a decision.
I agree.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
There's always danger.
So it'll be dangerous. I've been in danger since I walked out of the Fade.
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave...
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
It sounds suspicious, yes.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Okay, well we can go find Blackwall now. Somebody over here, something over here. More influence. We have 2 influence now, almost. The 3. What is this?
Excuse me.
Creme!
I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
And for a time you dwelled among them.
Identify yourself, please.
Who are you, soldier?
Comisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
Tell me about your company.
What can your Bulls Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references. You lead a company yourself, right? So you know talk is cheap. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Tell me about your leader.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's a Canary like you. He's big, he's got the horns and all of it. He leads from the front. He pays well and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why give us this message?
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
We welcome the help.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Why, thank you, Creme. I love you. Oh, Vivian is over here.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
This chaos harms everyone.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
I'll do all I can.
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
I use it to change things.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
You don't have anything else to say?
Yes?
Tell me about the circle.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
Tell me about the Templars.
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
Wasn't the circle disbanded?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The Circle is an idea, my dear, and an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
Shouldn't you replace Fiona?
If you lead all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
What was circle life like?
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
You're not wrong. What about your experience?
So tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face, nor see the world as we do.
Was confinement hard?
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the First Enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive, perhaps too permissive in retrospect.
I feel like you're being a bit biased there, but you can only speak for your life and your experiences and not everybody else's, so I can understand why you have a bias. But you're also rich, which doesn't help, and you live in Val Royaux. You weren't at Kirkwall, you don't understand anything from Kirkwall, as you just said, so maybe you're a little naive in some things. How did the rebellion start?
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected Circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
You know Fiona.
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Jesus. Were they justified?
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
Mages are fighting mages.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Okay, never mind.
With passioned breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper
Mother
in the
Giselle.
night, the lie upon your
I haven't explored over here. What is this?
For the injured as soon as possible, revered mother.
What is this place? Is this the dungeons? My fucking horns hit the ceiling. That's funny. Or the little lamp things, whatever they're called. Founding of the Chantry! Cordelius, Dracon King of the city-state of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year 15 ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker, declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring city-states of the south, he would have brought Andrastian belief to the world. In 3 ancient, the temple was completed there, and in its heart, Dracon knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Orlais. His first act as emperor to declare the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the Empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Olessa of Montesmard was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia in honor of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. Chantry hierarchy. The divine is the titular head of the Chantry, although since the schisms split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact 2 divines at any one time. One divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral in Val Royale. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argent Spire of Minrathous. Neither divine recognizes the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine is addressed as most holy or your perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religious authority for their region. They travel to Valrio when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a Mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered is appended to her title. There are the priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A mother or revered mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters from the rank and file of the chantry consist of three main groups: affirmed, initiates, and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the chantry, those regular folk who have turned to the chantry for succor. Often they are people who have led a difficult or irreligious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who are raised into chantry life. The affirmed take care of the chantry and are in turn afforded a life of quiet contemplation and no questions asked. Only those flock who take vows become initiates. Those are men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the material skills of a warrior. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. Clerics are the true academics of the chantry, those men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of those clerics placed in charge of such archives are given the title Elder, though such rank is still beneath that of Mother. All other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noting their title before their name, such as Brother Genevieve. I can't believe I opened that. What is this place? The Disciples of Andraste. The Disciples of Andraste are unique in all of history. The cult preceded the chantry and kept itself so hidden in isolation that it actually served to modern day. Disciples made their home high in the Frostback Mountains in a village called Haven, which is now a sanctuary for pilgrims of the chantry. It is understood that the disciples were descendants of the first followers of Andraste, who brought her ashes to Ferelden and built the temple to house it. Because they have pledged themselves to the keeping of the temple of sacred ashes, the disciples of Andraste never left the Frostbacks. For 900 years, they kept the Frostbacks. For 900 years, they kept strangers away, killing all who came close, and were completely oblivious to the world that advanced beyond the boundaries of their home. Having developed separately from the traditions of the Andrastian chantry, the disciples were led by revered fathers. However, little else is known about the original beliefs of the disciples, for they have turned from their noble heritage by the time they were discovered. Almost all scholars believe that the centuries-long isolation imposed upon the village led to the necessity for inbreeding. This practice likely led to a greater incidence of madness, which may explain why the cult was, at the time of its discovering in 930, worshipping a high dragon. According to the writings discovered in Haven, the disciples of Andraste showed reverence to the dragon, believing it to be the prophet reborn. The egg clutches and dragonlings of the dragon were afforded great honor for being Andraste's offspring, and were cared for by the cult. The dragon never attacked the cult, being cunning enough to recognize now how this arrangement benefited it. In 930 Dragon, the disciples were wiped out by the hero of Ferelden, who was on a quest to retrieve the sacred ashes of Andraste. Andraste brought the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathous, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped them, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them for help to help her people, who remained slaves in Tevinter, the false gods of the mountains, and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men have forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Mafarth, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together, they rallied the Elamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. When Mafarth saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. Last, the armies of Andraste and Mafarth stood before the very gate of Minrathous, but Andraste was not with them, for Mafarth had schemed in secret to have hand Andraste over to the Vinters. For this, the Archon would give Mafarth all the lands at the south of the Waking Sea. And so before all the armies of the Elamari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. And as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mafarth, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation to heal Andraste with him. And Our Lady still sits at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. Dawn Lotus and Alfruit. That's actually very helpful. Black City. No traveler to the Fade can fail to spot the Black City. It was one of the few constants of that ever-changing place, no matter where one might be. The city is visible, always far off, for it seems that only one rule of geography in the Fade is that our points of equidistance from the Black City. That all points are equidistant from the Black City. The chant teaches that the Black City was once the seat of the Maker, from whence he ruled the Fade, left empty when men turned away from him. Dreamers do not go there, nor do spirits. Even the most powerful demons seem to avoid the place. It was golden and beautiful once, so the story goes, until a group of powerful Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium devised a means of breaking in. When they did so, their presence defiled the city, turning it black, which was perhaps the least of their worries. Yes, because considering that Corythius is one of those magisters that went into the Golden City and turned it black, and he became one of the first fucking Darkspawn to ever exist. My god, they had a lot more issues than they thought. Corythius and his very existence in this game is fucking insane. The very fact that he exists puts so many things into question. Something back there? It looks like there's something maybe back there. Yep, loot. Give it. Open this. Okay, nothing else. Well then, let's go see Josephine and the one lady so we can get this shit out of my inventory, and then we can read 1 or 2 more codex entries and be on our way to the Storm Coast and the hinterlands.
Though you had granted them power over the very
I have heard rumors of a way you return.
Hello, Mother.
Though they could do anything, they
Can I help with anything?
Is there anything I can do to help you or your people?
My healers would benefit from more supplies. We have run short of even common goods with so many wounded. If you could deliver this list and the items on it to Quartermaster Thren, she could get us what we need. It may not seem like much, but it would enable my healers to save many lives.
Okay, goodbye.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Kerry would like to know why you need so much death root.
To do my job.
Oh, I'll just tell him that, Enchanter.
I'm not an enchanter.
What may I do for
I'm
you?
an apprentice. Just please tell Adon I need that death root.
What brought you here?
Tell me how you came to work for the Inquisition again.
I'd been considering leaving my post in Antiva for a new challenge when Leliana recruited me. There's such unrest in Thedas, and the Inquisition seems a promising method to stop it. It's to everyone's benefit if we prevent the Mage-Templar conflict from spreading further.
Is Order why you signed on?
So was it the prospect of stability that drew you here?
The full impact of the Mage Rebellion has yet to be felt, and that was before the death of the Divine. The violence must be curbed before we see it turn to full-scale war.
I absolutely agree.
I can only imagine the bloodshed if it escalates further.
I'm afraid history holds many examples of what will happen if it does.
How did you meet Liliana?
How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Norlay. I believe we actually met in Val Royaux. Leliana was quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What's the game?
What exactly do you mean when you say the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
Okay. Goodbye.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
So before we go in, I want to look in my codex. Characters. Okay. Sarah, this report is by Josephine. Has been defaced numerous times in a different hand. Oh, Sarah, Red Jenny, and Valisman, Lady Parts, Fawn, Knucklefronts. It falls to me to comment on this, Red Jenny, for as a creature of the court, I must seem the effect of her actions, although I cannot be certain does that make them effective or ineffective. What I know is that she has vexed cities, guardsmen across Thedas, and has always escaped assessing all available records. Seems clear that there have been multiple embodiments of the name, often at the same time. The limitations of communication are such that this is impossible to verify in the moment. Crew drawing of a guard with her breeches at her ankles. The severity of the attributed actions vary widely from petty to outright vicious. While official reports label these actions unfair, I have knowledge of many names named as victims, and several are of suspect character. Sarah would call them something altogether untoward. Yes, Mom, shit's the lot of them. There are tales of Virginie targeting criminals, slavers, and even assassins guilds. The benefit of having a local is that they are invested in regional concerns. Although this obviously varies, I can discern no protocol. Don't need a title to be awful and deserve it. So who is our Red Jenny? She has been amusing herself in Valrio for some time, although it is clear that her accent that she is deeply Ferelden. She met with outright laughter my inquiry as to whether she has any special elfin concerns that I could address. I have conferred with Liliana about the danger of this group, and our estimation is that this incarnation of Red Jenny is at least a good description. Oh, the scary one cares! Vivian, Madame de Fur. Magic is dangerous, but just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned. An assiduous and talented scholar, Vivian rose rapidly through the ranks of Montesmar's circle. When made a full-fledged enchanter, she elected to join the no fraternity, decision that shocked colleagues, but may have been a calculated maneuver. When she successfully applied to be appointed enchanter to the imperial court, nearly every fraternity clamored for her favor in hopes of having a representative at the empress's ear. She was voted first enchanter of Montesmar at an age young enough to cause scandal. The circle widely regards her as the most shrewd and disciplined mage in Orlais. Creatures. Bear. We went into the woods near Valrio to find a great brown bear that had the townsfolk worried. We found her some miles from the west gate. She had made a den in a cave on a hillside close to a stream. We stopped some yards away and watched Aldwin cast a spell to make us less likely to be discovered. Useful magic. After several hours, the bear emerged from her den, beautiful red-brown sheen to her coat, phenomenal beastie. Following close behind were 3 cubs, balls of fluffy brown fur with eyes set in them. Amazing little creatures. I would have liked to watch the little family play in the stream all day, but the wind changed and the mama bear caught our scent. Even with Eldwin working his magic, she leapt in our direction, stopped when she couldn't see anything, then rose up on her hind legs and roared. What a sight that was! I estimated she was half again as tall as I. Quick as anything, she charged toward the snapping branches as she went. I dove out of the way, but Eldwin, bless his heart, was too slow. A massive ball caught him right in the chest. He went down. Poor Eldwin, nature is ruthless, but magnificent. True. It's a nice picture. Black Wolf, the scouts report activity uncharacteristic of lupine behavior. The breach and resulting rifts have caused unprecedented disruptions in the Vale. Such alterations to the environment may account for the unnatural aggression in it. If this is indeed the cause, I cannot yet say how widespread the impact. How many wolves does this environment imbalance influence? What threat do they pose to resistant members of the pack, to the local population? This warrants further investigation. Bruiser, a warrior wielding a great blade, strikes terror into common soldiers, but to a chevalier he is no greater danger than any other opponent. Skilled warrior is struck down by a maul or a battle axe in one of 3 cases. In the first, he is taken unawares in the heat of battle. In the second, he cannot evade the blow because of the nature of the battlefield of his own injuries. And in the third and most common case, he is struck down because he reacts poorly. We do not train enough against two-handed weapons because we disdain them ourselves. I think this is a mistake, and in time to come, I hope it is corrected. I've seen too many skilled warriors die because they see a great wall coming down at them and raise a shield to block instead of deflect. I've seen men lose their composure due to fear or anger and engage such a warrior directly, thinking they can risk a blow to their body as they would from a lightning sword or a dagger. In the heat of battle, even the trained mind will think such things. Those who cannot overcome such thoughts die. You must watch the weapon, but only to gauge its length. Otherwise, as in all fights, the opponent's hips and shoulders will tell his intent. The great weapons are dangerous only when moving or poised overhead to strike down. You must give ground, but only against the true threat. If he advances but is not truly prepared to strike, you must rush in, cut him, and withdraw to your guard before his blow is ready. It may take 10 cuts to kill him, but after the 9th, he may cleave your head before your body from your body if you do not respect the distance he can cover. If using such a weapon yourself, mark your distance and do not allow yourself to react to any opponent outside your reach. You cannot recover your guard as quickly as you can with a sword and shield. Keep your weapon moving and measure your blows. A stuttered step on your strike can fool many opponents into thinking you out of range and then rushing their defense. In this manner, you may kill most who stand against you. Fighting in such a manner, you may feel more like a butcher than a hero, but the living may console themselves while the dead cannot. That's very true. My dearest and best father and lord, you are strong and fair, and obviously the most handsome Arl in all of Ferelden. I want a fennec. Please get one for me. I saw a picture in a book that Brigand was carrying from Master Felgred, and it is the fluffiest and most delightful creature I have ever seen. The book says they live in the mountains and eat voles and repulsive things like that. When I get mine, I will feed it only nice things like cake and pearls. Please send someone to catch one. I really need one right now. Ruby wants company. Not my fault, Primmy and Bauble broke. Don't believe anything Ellen says. Please, I promise I will spend no more gold on silks this month. It's too cold anyway. Your most loving and obedient daughter, Habrin. A note from Habrin Baylord to her father, Leonis Bryland, Earl of South Reach. Report indicates that Habrin did receive a white fox as a gift from her father later that month. She promptly lost it down a well. Oh my god. Okay, people who have children, and they know their children cannot handle taking care of a pet. Don't get the pet for your child. Not unless you're willing to take care of it, or you're willing to teach your kid patience and respect for the animal and not just kill the animal. I don't care how cute your kid is or how smart you think your kid is. I don't like people that just let their children just fucking kill an animal because, oh, it's just an animal. Screw you. Everything has feelings in life. And I don't think you'd appreciate it if you were the one being tortured by your brat. Respect. Teach your children respect. I'm not saying that your kid can't have one. I'm just saying that you need to teach your kids. I don't understand the people that give their child a fucking turtle or whatever and then the next day it's dead because you fried it. Foot Soldier. I faced Antivan duelists, Ferelden Ash Warriors, and Fog Warriors skirmishers. When we strip away the titles and tricks, they are simply men who want to see their enemies dead, but need a hand free to manage it. Duelists favor a thinner target over the offensive strength of a main gauche. Ash Warriors need a hand to guide their Mbari and a lighter weapon to take advantage of the openings their dogs leave, while Fog Warriors rely on stealth and speed too much to use a heavy shield. When engaging with such an opponent, respect his speed. His hands and feet will move a great deal. Ignore them. Watch his hips and shoulders instead. First, deny what advantage he has in his allies or environment unless you have been trained equally in such matters. Once you control his weapon, overwhelm him. He has no shield, and you need not fear a second blade. If forced to fight in such a manner, you must decide whether you will fight as a duelist one-handed or as a chevalier. The former, drop your back leg away to tighten your center target. As you have no shield to cover your body on second weapon to bring into range, focus on quick attack and give ground freely when you cannot find an advantage. The latter, rely on your vambrace and gauntlet as a shield and try to wrench your opponent's weapon away. My left arm bears the scars of such efforts, but my opponents bear worse. Better still, do not lose your shield at all, but battles are not a place of perfection. Guardsman. A novice believes his sword of the utmost importance and his shield there to show his family's colors. All scoff at such foolishness, but the older student, thinking his shield a sign from the Maker that he cannot be struck down, is little wiser. A warrior coming away from battle with his shield dented and ripped may be praised for bravery. Warrior coming away with his shield merely scratched should be praised for skill. Remember that every metal shield was beaten into shape and may be beaten out of it. Even a blow that does not tear a hole drives impact through your arm and shoulder, where shock and pain will wear down even the strongest warrior. In a duel against a single opponent, you may seek a quick advantage in taking a blow directly to the shield in order to strike one in return. If you are protecting another, you may have no choice. In all other cases, against one opponent or many, it is better to hide the movement of your hips and shoulders behind your shield, forcing enemies to focus on it rather than on you. This is also true when fighting an opponent so armed your goal is not the shield, but the man behind it. Circling or locking shields may gain you an advantageous position. Failing that, rain blows upon his defense until he tires and his guard grows sloppy. If you are neither skilled enough to slip past him nor fit enough to wear him down, you will most likely die. Damn. Harsh but true, I guess. Mabaris! Mabari. Dogs are an essential part of Ferelden culture, and no dog is more prized than the Mabari. The breed is as old as myth, said to have been bred from the wolves who served Dane. Prized for their intelligence and loyalty, these dogs are more than mere weapons or status symbols. The hounds choose their masters, pairing with them for life. To be the master of a Mabari anywhere in Ferelden is to be recognized instantly as a person of worth. The Mabari are an essential part of Ferelden military strategy. Trained hounds can easily pull knights from horseback or break lines of pikemen, and the sight and sound of a wave of war dogs howling and snarling has been known to cause panic among even the most hardened infantry soldiers. Prowler? What the fuck is a prowler? When faced directly, an opponent wearing only light armor and wielding only short blades is a little challenge to a trained chevalier. However, not all fights are duels. If you assume that your enemy shares your values, you will die. The only rule most warriors agree upon is that it is better not to die, and a Grey Warden or an Emperor's bodyguard may contest even that accepted wisdom. Skirmisher will strike by surprise, relying upon allies to draw your attention. In a great battle with many troops on each side, you must assume that the enemy has such skirmishers in its ranks. When fighting in formation, you have no excuse to break your guard and pursue a perceived advantage. Doing so will leave you or those depending upon you unguarded. When fighting alone, you must avoid strikes that would weaken your guard. Once you know such an enemy opposes you, be vigilant and remember that you wear more armor than he does. If he will hide, do not enter the shadows where he is strongest to pursue him. He will harass you at range, do not take the bait he offers. Chevalier deserves a better death than a poisoned dagger in his unprotected armpit, and such is the death of those who grow impatient, whose chasing enemies they deem beneath their honor. Be calm, be methodical, and wait for your opponent to yield to the fear of your blade and shield. When he does, he will convince himself that he can attack you directly, that his blades are fast enough to slip past your shield. Then he will move, and then you may kill him. That's a graphic, scary image a little bit. Took a minute for my eyeballs to see what I was seeing. The ram is a marvelous creature. Its wool makes the best lining for winter this side of the mountains. The horns and bones can be crushed into powder and mixed with the soil for a healthy crop, or charred and ground into ink powder. The hide makes a good cover and a window against the winds. You can burn the dung in a pinch, melt it down its fat for candles. I haven't even mentioned the meat. With a full-grown ram, you could make a stew big enough for a village and have enough left for over a week. So there'll be no more complaining about being paid in sheep for your work during the harvest. With that ram and a few ewes, you can start your own flock. You're lucky to have them handed to you instead of needing to go and tame a wild one. Listen to your father for once. Take care of those animals, and they'll take care of you. He's not wrong there. Shade, hypnosis. The envy. What's the new thing that was added? There has to be a new thing. I'm confused. I read you. What's the new thing? I don't see a new thing. Okay, whatever. Spellbinder. I confess myself troubled by the rise in mage binding multiple spirits to a single object. Among them, Mortalitasi. Interacting with spirits is a serious, even intimate undertaking. These spellbinders, as they call themselves, bind many simple spirits, usually to books or other easily compartmentalized objects set with runes, and they have stripped the interaction with spirits or its importance, reducing it to a mere mechanical exercise. That such magic is useful to the spellbinder, I do not argue. Although the power contained in those objects is difficult to focus, the diffused magic can easily distribute energy across a broad area, augmenting the mage's allies. The spellbinders insist that no individual spirit is capable of breaking their binds, and that the spirit cannot cooperate well enough to effect an escape together. Furthermore, they maintain that because the bindings are all tied to the spellbinder personally, there is no risk of these enchanted books falling into the wrong hands. You sure about that? So the books are in their hands, and I am concerned. Although the practice has spread across most of Thedas, by now it seems to have originated in Tevinter. These mages bind spirits and demons too readily. It is not natural for spirits to remain in this world for any great length of time. Our maker placed the veil between our world and the Fade for a reason. After all, who are we to second guess his wishes? Perhaps I have grown too reverent in my old age. That's a cool image. That's done. I'm done for now. No more reading. Fuck that. Let's go meet the warden. Blackwall. Inquisition perks. Do I have any that I can get? You need 4 points. Okay, I don't have any. Champion of the Just. Red Jenny. I do not know how someone would come to the idea, but I can see the use in a large area to search. However, a memo from Josephine written on a note from Sarah. Know what ruins a party bees? I know a man who teaches how to jar them safe, but angry, stinging, no good for honey, but great for throwing. He's somewhere south. Sarah scribbled a jar of bees, hitting someone in the face. Also a butt. He's peddling them to fighting forces. My people will find the trail. It's too large an area to cover. Bounty hunters are a simpler bet. I can send runners among the bands. If this weapon can help, it will be found. You.
To work?
Rescue missing soldiers in Ferelden. Call on Andraste, gather coin, storm coast, Black Imperium. We need to go back to the hinterlands. Cult of Andraste. Before the Fifth Blight and the arrival of the hero of Ferelden, Haven was occupied by cultists who worshipped a dragon, they believed to be Andraste reborn, but the cultists and their dragons were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes, but there may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains containing their relics. With a concerted search effort, it might be possible to unearth something useful to the Inquisition. This is a task left to a few select agents knowledgeable regarding dangerous magic. I have just the ones in mind.
Let's see what we have.
Gather coin. Gather coin.
At your service.
Give me 1 minute. I'm looking for Orlais. Report ready. Contact with Valkos mercenaries. Adar Koth came back looking like she'd crawled out of a dragon's mouth. So the others too, most of them wounded, all of them angry but alive. Alive is important. They said they were sprung from some noble's dungeon, but by people with eyeball armor. I assume that's your doing. Thanks. Sarakar. P.S. Good work on not being dead. P.P.S. We still haven't been paid. Imperial Court. Red Jenny. Drop and grab. Chantry remains. Okay, we're going back to the hinterlands. We're going to travel there. Venture forth. I'll take Sarah with me for a little bit. I need to get her leveled up, and I'll take Vivienne. I don't particularly like it, but let's go. Okay. She has 8 points. I kind of want to give her... Chain Lightning. Need some more targets. Let's do that. Accidentally leave them paralyzed. Okay, those. And revival. Okay, apply those. Sarah, you're gonna be a dagger lady. Apply those, and then sabotage. Exploded a shower of toxic mist. Let's do those. Okay, now map. Okay. God, there's so much crap here. Lone Warden. Let's go to the Lone Warden who's over near this camp. Okay, and now we're going this way? Oh, inventory. Of course. $90. Honestly, I like you better than this. That's fine. Iron Bull only. Sarah, you look so odd. Daggers. This. Armor. Kind of nice in that. Grenade belt for you. Okay, I think that's everybody.
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay, we're going this way. Hi, Ram. Blood lotus. I actually need that. Oh, it's there. I didn't even see it. Saga of Trida, Bright Axe, of our mother, first stanza. Tell the tale of Trida, Bright Axe, mountain maker, spirit's bride. Free her people, forged in fastness, made in mountains hardy high. Wise in wisdom, calm in counsel, great in gifts, her grateful guests. Sacrificed she did to spirits, took their teachings, followed quests. Bright her axe and breaking crystals, stirred to flame when temper flies. Gifted from her leaf-eared lover, laughing lady of the skies, blasted blades of all who tried, maidens spurning all requests, tried a bright axe, bright dreamer's eyes, Avara mother of her making.
They will make this a fight, not us. No gaps.
Okay, let's go home really quickly. The Eurasian Empire, there are many lords and ladies in Val Royale, and I mean this literally. Once the system of noble titles in Orlais was labyrinthian, there were barons and baronesses and baronets and sub-barons and a horde of others, each with its own origins and its own nuances of comparison. The Eurasian aristocracy is ancient and much given to competition. All the nobility play the grand game, as it is known whether they wish to or not. It is a game of reputation and patronage, where moves are made with rumors and scandal is the chief weapon. No gentle game this. More blood has been drawn as a result of the grand game than any war the Eurasians have fought. Of this I am assured by almost every gentleman here. As far as titles went, everything changed with the coming of the Emperor Drakon, who established the Eurasian Empire as it exists now, and who created the Chantry. There is no more venerated figure in Orlais. In Vario, the statue of Drakon stands as tall as the statue of Andraste. Drakon determined that the Grand Game was tearing Orlais apart, so he abolished all titles besides his own and Lord and Lady. I'm told with some twittering amusement that this action did not end the Grand Game, as Drakon had intended. Now the lords and ladies collected unofficial titles rather than official ones, such as the exalted patron of Tosclé, or uncle to the champion of Termemis. It is a headache to remember such titles, and one winces to think of the poor doorman at the balls who must rattle them off as each guest enters the room. The aristocracy is different from Ferelden in other ways as well. The Arlesians' right to rule stems directly from the Maker. There exists neither the concept of rule by merit nor the slightest notion of rebellion. If one is not noble, one aspires to be, or at the least aspires to be in the good graces of a noble, and if ever watching for a way to enter the patronage of those better placed in the grand game. And then there are the masks and the cosmetics. I have not seen so much paint since the kennels at High Ever, but that is another story. That's kind of funny. Save, please. Okay, let's talk to this black wall.
Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
Blackwall? Warden Blackwall?
You're not... How do you know my name? Who sent... Ah! That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come!
They look so fucking scared.
I wasn't here to fight. Stop and think. Too late for that.
There we are.
Sorry, bastards. Good work, conscripts. Even if this shouldn't have happened, they could have... Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves. You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
Greetings are in order.
I know your name because I'm an agent of the Inquisition. I'm investigating whether the disappearance of Wardens has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know. First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
I wasn't accusing Wardens yet.
I'm not here to accuse. Not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time they won't need me. Grey Wardens can inspire, make you better than you think you are.
The trees sound powerful.
I wasn't aware Grey Wardens could take whatever they want.
It's complicated. If there's a blight, everyone has to help the effort to fight it. The treaties are ancient. Outside of blights, it's as binding as a clever tongue can make it.
Where might wardens go?
Do you have any idea where the other wardens could have gone?
Maybe they returned to our stronghold at Weishaupt? That's in the Anderfels, a long way north. I don't really know. Can't imagine why they'd all disappear at once, let alone where they'd disappear to.
Why haven't you disappeared?
Why haven't you gone missing like the rest of them?
Well, maybe I was going to. Or maybe there's a new directive, but a runner got lost or something. My job was to recruit on my own. Plan to stay that way for months. Years.
So what's next for us?
Well, thank you, Warden Blackwall. Now, where does this leave us?
Inquisition. Agent, did you say? Hold a moment. The Divine is dead and the sky is torn. Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a warden. Maybe you need me.
How can you help us alone?
The Inquisition needs all the support it can get. But what can one Grey Warden do?
Save the fucking world if pressed.
You're not wrong.
Look, maybe fighting demons from the sky isn't something I'm practiced at. But show me someone who is.
Good point.
And like I said, there are treaties. Maybe this isn't a blight, but it's bloody well a disaster. Some will honor them. Being a warden means something to a lot of people.
Yes, join the Inquisition.
Warden Blackwall, the Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This warden walks with the Inquisition.
Okay, Sarah. Van. Blackwall, confirm. Semi-decorative gem. I've reached level 7. A note. Letter found on the body of a bandit who stole from refugees in the hinterlands. The ink is smudged. A few sentences can be made out. You can die pretending you'll earn back your soldier's honor, or you can come back something. You can do something with the skills that son of a bitch taught you. Spend some time with my boys. No one will know who you are in Ferelden, and it's not so bad. A little bit of smuggling, a little bit of extortion. You'll get used to it. Okay, charred piece of paper. Enhanced toxic cloud ring. Bill of requisition. Just make sure there's nothing back here. Sometimes things can be hidden. Okay, so I need to level up myself and Blackwall. Explosive toxin. Blackwall. Grappling chain. Give them the boot. apply that. Okay, map. There's so much crap here. World map, and we are gonna go back to Haven. Yes. Okay, and now we are gonna go and head to. So I'm gonna sell some crap.
Tell Master.
Let's see here. Eight. It's 28. $90, 88, 88. It's 39. Okay, we're good. Is there something over here? No, it's on the outside. Okay, that's a little odd. Well, let's go to the Storm Coast. I'm gonna unlock that.
Blissa wants to know if you have anything that can make tavern food taste a little more.
Stay safe out there.
Okay.
When there was no sky maker, you were the sky.
I don't know if
When
the
there was
Carrier
no
Don can
earth,
get you
you
that
were
many
the
in one shot.
Report ready. We have received a weapon plans located in an apiary to supply us. When the idea was presented to the beekeeper, he tinted his fingers and sneered. Of course, quite disturbing. Jar of bees, grenade. It's incredible how many passages remained undiscovered even after the Chantry's arrival, and then they scoured every inch of these mountains for years in search of anything related to the sacred ashes. Gold didn't build all of this. It was here long before, and who knows how many years it would take to find it all. Of the new passages uncovered during the search, most were long empty or contained goods far beyond salvage. A few, however, yielded some artifacts of interest, and one evidently contained strange runes we have yet to translate. If we can find someone capable of doing so, they might prove of use. Secret of Andraste. Runes discovered. An agent with magical knowledge and the means to acquire texts. Let us work on this ourselves.
Let's see what we have.
Tree remains. Reggie says drop and grab. Truth or dare, the Imperial Court. Confrontation with Mother Havara in the Val Royeaux market had the desired effect to appoint the Chantry's condemnation of the Inquisition was lost amid a flurry of speculation over the actions of Lord Seeker Lucius, as well as a divide in the opinions of the remaining Chantry clerics. There were, however, clerics still loudly denouncing the Herald of Andraste. The Inquisition could leave them to their speeches, but dealing with them before the Chantry elects a new divine would be of benefit. We should send a contingent of Inquisition soldiers to the Grand Cathedral. They can offer protection, and their visibility will remind the clerics they are not out of our reach. Make no sense of this. The Herald, perhaps she can advise. Cullen, a letter from Cyril follows. For you big hats, Lord, whoever says you're rubbish, his servants don't care, but could drop a few things for them. They'll give Josephine a surprise. I think the scrolls or something. Sarah, scribble of Heldrick symbols and directions are below. Also Sarah's name 37 times. We're no time for games. Far simpler to stop this with soldiers and find favor with this noble. You know what? I'll wait until the others are done. Storm Coast. The Black Emporium. It's got the Storm Coast. Golden has not seen significant Grey Warden activity since Darkspawn attacked the city of Emerantine 10 years ago. It is not unusual for the order to fade from public notice when there's no blight. However, recent reports claim that a group was traveling along the northern coastline. Wardens tend to follow their own agenda, but the breach has no doubt caught their attention. If they know something, then the Inquisition should find out. Wardens are reclusive, but not untraceable. If there are signs of their passage on the Storm Coast, my agents will find them. Sister Liliana, Lieutenant Harding led a small complement of soldiers to the Storm Coast region to investigate reports of Grey Warden activity. We sent word that our party had established a camp near the shore, but we have received nothing further at this time. The status of Harding and her mission remains unknown. Rector. Yes, venture forth. Okay, confirm.
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast. I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I'll look into it.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
Thank you, Harding. Potions. That didn't sound good. There's a dragon. Confirm. Legion nobles are clamoring for tapestries with an Inquisition theme and will pay handsomely for any coming directly from the artisans. 1 power. Potent herbal mixture. Craft. Potent healing mixture that can treat many wounded people. Requisitions
Word for you.
officer. Report.
What is it?
You may want to look into this.
Okay, map. Captain of the Chargers, cleaning house. Set is active. Yeah, we're gonna go to the Captain of the Chargers, which is Iron Bowl. Be lovely to see him. It's one of those dumbass things. I'll change the past when you can understand. Fruit. Let's look. There we are. Okay, let's go help Iron Bull and his people. Okay. Get this guy. Here we are.
a challenge. Form up!
This guy.
Worry about.
There we are.
Chargers! Stand down! Krim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. Damn, it's true. Oh, the Chantry must love you. A Canary mercenary is the herald of Andraste. Who'd have thought?
This was impressive. You're doing well enough. I greet you, fellow Canary. This was impressive.
Nicely done. I hear you're looking for work.
I am. Not before my drink, though. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Hi,
Good to see you
Cram.
again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have him check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And I'm sure the Inquisition can afford us.
How expensive are you?
How much is this going to cost me, exactly?
Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it.
You definitely seem useful.
The Chargers seem like an excellent company.
They are, but you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
My parents taught me of them.
I learned of the Ben Hasrath from my parents. They are the enforcers of the Kunari and the spies.
Yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
Get away from me, spy. You're hired. Those soldiers join the Inquisition and Iron Bull joins your party. Iron Bull joins your party. We don't want you. Those soldiers do not join the Inquisition. Iron Bull is not available as a party member. Why would you admit to this?
You're a Kunari spy, and you just told me?
Whatever happened at that conclave thing, it's bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed. So whatever I am, I'm on your side.
You still could have hidden what you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later. Better you hear it right up front from me.
Good point. Why would you report, what would you report back?
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Canari want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
I agree with that. What can you tell us?
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth a damn, she'll put him to good use.
She is.
She?
I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
Same here. You're hired. You're hired.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Prem, tell the men to finish drinking on the road. The Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just opened them up with axes.
Find some way to seal them. You're Tervinter, right? Try blood magic.
Oh.
We'll meet you back at Haven.
Let's do these guys. Confirm. Okay guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun. If you want to see previous streams that I've done, go check out my YouTube channel. Link is in my bio. If you guys want to see when I'm about to stream something, go check out my Twitter or my Instagram. Link is also in my bio. Or check out my schedule here on Twitch. But if you don't want to do any of that, here's my schedule for this week. Hopefully nothing changes. If something does, I will normally, if I have the chance, I will definitely tell you guys before. So you don't just show up and realize I haven't been streaming. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do whatever the hell it is you want to do. There are going to be polls going up on my YouTube and on my Twitter, so if you guys want to go participate in that, you can. I love hearing your guys' opinions and what you guys want me to do. And anyway, I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are, and I shall see you guys real soon. Bye!